Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarLead TV. This is part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. And today, of course, I do have a brand new team that I made that I've been testing. I have a little bit of a backlog on teams. I build a lot of teams on Showdown and test them out. And I've made a lot of new teams featuring a lot of different, like not new Pokemon, but like Pokemon that you don't really ever see in Battle Stadium singles. And it's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I just kind of, unfortunately haven't had enough time to kind of make videos in the past week. But this week I should have time to make 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 videos. We'll see, hopefully. But anyways, also something I thought about was maybe I could start doing some Pokemon Showdown content where I feature a lot more teams. Like if I record on Showdown, it allows me to just kind of try a lot more things. So if you're interested in watching some Pokemon Showdown content, definitely let me know in the comments, because I would love to do that kind of content as well. It would be the same as this, basically, where, you know, I do a lot of battles with the team, but things would be a lot faster if I do it on Showdown. It's just that on Pokemon Showdown, it doesn't look quite as nice as the games. So that's the big downside. But anyways, with that being said, we have a brand new team. And as you'll notice, we have Vaporeon, which is a Pokemon that, you know, it's existed in Scarlet and Violet since the beginning. It also existed in Sword and Shield and never really saw much play. But I've actually been thinking about it, and I have tried this out, and it's been a lot of fun. And Vaporeon has a lot of strengths that not a lot of Pokemon have. Notably, the move Scald is now back as of the I was going to say the Isle of Armor, as of the Teal Mask DLC. Scald is now a TM once again in Scarlet and Violet, whereas before it was not in Scarlet and Violet at all. And the thing is, only a handful of Pokemon get it. It used to be where just about every single water type had access to Scald. These days, however, a lot of them kind of don't, and there are a lot of Pokemon that would really benefit if they had Scald, but sadly they just don't get it. And Vaporeon is one of the lucky few who does have Scald again. So the ability to kind of do some damage to the opponent while potentially burning them is great. It's great against a lot of the physical threats in the meta, such as Urshifu, Dragonite, Chien-Pao. There's just so many good physical attackers in the meta, and the ability to take hits from them, because Vaporeon's very bulky, and potentially burn them with Scald is just fantastic. So I decided to go Terra Fire for a few reasons. First of all, when we are a fire type, we still have the water absorb ability. So we are a fire type that can take no damage from water type moves, so that removes one of our weaknesses. And fire has a lot of really important resistances in this meta. It resists Fairy from Fluttermane, it resists Ice from Chien-Pao, and pretty importantly, and something that I found to be kind of one of the main reasons why I went Terra Fire on Vaporeon, is that it resists Fire Ogerpon. So completely resists Fire Ogerpon's stab moves, the Fire Ivy Cudgel, as well as Horn Leech and any grass type move. And also, you know, typically Ogerpons run maybe like Play Rough. We also resist Play Rough. And then maybe they'll run like Swords Dance or something like that. So, you know, basically Ogerpon is not that big of a threat for our Vaporeon. As far as the moves and the EVs, we have max HP and max defense, because Vaporeon has a massive HP stat and already has pretty good special defense. And of course, we're boosting our special defense with Calm Mind. My second move of choice is going to be Terra Blast, because it offers decent coverage with Scald, as well as kind of stab once we're terastallized. And then the last move, or rather the first move up there, is actually Baby Doll Eyes. Now I tried Wish, and Wish is okay. Honestly, Wish can be good. It has its share of uses. You could also go Protect, you could go maybe Rest with like Chesto Berry, but I just think Baby Doll Eyes is pretty good. Again, there are a lot of physical attackers in the meta. Baby Doll Eyes, what it does is it lowers the opponent's attack stat by 1 stage, which is not very good. However, it has priority, so it will always go first. So like against something like a Dragonite, you can like, if you need to, like maybe if they've set up a Dragon Dance or something, you can like Baby Doll Eyes to kind of reset their stats and then just Scald them or something. And if we don't Terastallize, we take hits pretty well against a Dragonite, for example. So Baby Doll Eyes has been okay. Like again, it's not perfect. There are situations where I want Baby Doll Eyes, situations where I want Wish, situations where I prefer to have Protect or even Substitute. You just can't fit all those moves on here. And I do think having 2 attacking moves is good. I guess you could forego the Terra Blast and have another move like, again, Wish or Protect or Substitute if you want to go that route, but I don't know, I just like having 2 offensive moves. Now the rest of the Pokemon are pretty self-explanatory. The Dragapult is the Dragapult I featured in my last team, where it's kind of like a support Dragonite, Dragapult, where it can either burn or paralyze the opponents and then spam Hex to knock them out. And if it gets knocked out, then we go into something else. And if the opponent is burned or paralyzed, we just kind of have the upper hand, so we can kind of go into something really good here. Then we have our Baxcalibur, which is, not really surprising either. We've got Terra Electric. Even though we don't have Terra Blast, I still thought Terra Electric is a solid Terra type for us because we resist Steel, which we would otherwise be weak to. It also really changes our weaknesses, so normally we'd be weak to like Fairy and Fighting, whereas, Electric does not resist those, but it at least takes neutral damage, which can help. And then also, most importantly, we are immune to Paralysis. So with our ability, we are immune to Burn, and then by being an Electric type, we are also immune to Paralysis. So, Terra Ground is a good one as well, but there are a lot of like Water types and like Ice types right now. So defensively, Terra Ground is not amazing, but offensively it is very good. And then now Baxcalibur has Scale Shot, so it has 2 moves that can abuse the loaded dice, which is the big reason why I don't have Terra Blast on this set. Otherwise, I would have Terra Blast. Then we have Gholdengo, pretty typical set. I've run it on a few of the past teams. It just has a mix of EV, some bulk, some speed, some special attack. I'll put that in the description in the Pokepaste. It's Nasty Plot Recover, pretty straightforward for Gholdengo. Then we have Iron Moth. This set is like one that I've been typically running. However, we are Terra Fairy now, and I do have just enough speed, so that speed is my highest stat, so we get the booster energy boost. And then I have max HP, and then the rest of the EVs are in defense. And with the Terra Fairy type, I can resist like sucker punches. What the heck am I saying? Sucker punches from Chien-Pao. So this has been a solid set as well. And then finally we have Choice Specs Iron Bundle. Not much of an explanation needed there. That is the team. We're focusing on the Vaporeon, so we're gonna see if we can bring it. Although again, I don't have any like new exciting Pokemon here. I guess in some ways Vaporeon is kind of new. I mean, it's not new, but because it has Scald, that is kind of something that is new as of the Teal Mask. So let's see how the team does. Game number 1. The first thing I kind of noticed is that Vaporeon actually looks really good here. They have a lot of physical attackers, and even the special attackers they have, I'm not super scared of, except for that Ursaluna. Ursaluna is pretty terrifying, honestly. The Blood Moon Ursaluna, it's pretty tanky, but also, yes, it is weak to water, but typically they have like Terra Normal, which would make it not take any damage, and even if we burn it, that doesn't really matter to it because it's a special attacker. So Ursaluna is terrifying. I think I want to lead with Dragapult, though. Dragapult's a good lead, and so is Iron Bundle. Actually, Iron Bundle looks pretty solid here. The downside is if they happen to lead with Annihilate, that's worse against Iron Bundle. But if they lead Annihilate and we lead Dragapult, I like that a lot better. But Iron Bundle, I would say, feels better against everything else. Huh. I do think it's pretty likely they lead with Annihilate. I'm gonna go with my gut though and bring Bundle, and then I'm gonna bring Vaporeon. And then finally, I think I'm just gonna bring Moth. They have a lot of special attackers, so that makes Moth better. Moth is really good at taking special hits, and it 4 times resists Fairy from the Flutter Mane. And I mean, to be quite honest though, it's not great against Ursaluna. I think Ursaluna is the biggest threat on their team. And in all honesty, I don't feel like I have that many Pokemon that are great against it. Dragapult, if I burn it, as I've said before, it just kind of doesn't matter. I cannot paralyze it, and then, but they do lead Annihilate at least. That's something. Oh wait, never mind. I went with my gut. I thought I had led Dragapult. So obviously if they go Drain Punch here, I think that just destroys us. But at the same time, Annihilate is just kind of so good, and I don't want to switch anything into it. I'm just going to click Freeze Dry. I'm just going to get a lot of damage on this thing. I could, of course, have clicked Hydro Pump, and we take it down to, is that a Sash? Wow, you never really see that on Annihilate. Oops, my battery's low. I forgot to charge it. Oh, it's Zoroark. Okay. That's a weird Pokemon to bring on your Zoroark, because like they're both ghost types, so Like, you're not really, like, if an opponent uses a move that's super effective against Ghost, you're not really faking anything out there. But anyways, if they have, like, Vacuum Wave that's awkward, I don't think Zoroark has, like, too many other options for priority. Maybe Sucker Punch. They have Shadow Sneak. I might live? Oh, yes. See, I thought we might live because Iron Bundle has, like, okay defense. And then Zoroark also has, like, not amazing attack. It's like, okay, but it's not the strongest. So that's perfect for us because we get a knockout there. Of course, our Iron Bundle took a lot of damage, but that also gets rid of their sneaky Pokemon, their sneaky Zoroark. So we know in the future that if they have a Pokemon in front of us, it is that Pokemon. Now they go into their Annihilate, which I don't really mind. I think I just click Freeze Dry here. It's going to do a lot of damage unless they're Assault Vest or like Terra Fire. And if we get their Terra, that's good. And if they just bulk up, I think that's going to be like a 2-hit KO. So they're kind of incentivized to just knock me out here, and they could go, even if they go Drain Punch, they're not going to recover that much health. They do take that really well though, so that leads me to believe that they might be max HP, max special defense, which I know was the pretty kind of go-to Annihilate set early on. So I wonder if that's what they are. They do have leftovers as well, which is rough because, yeah. And we did hit them once, which of course is going to be boosting the power of Rage Fist. Huh. Like, I could go Vaporeon and start setting up, maybe get a burn on them. I think I kind of like that. Maybe I just go Vaporeon and just like click Scald a bunch. Although of course the downside to that is we are going to be boosting their Rage Fist, so that is something we really need to be afraid of. I was going to say scared of. We are shiny too, I forgot to mention, which is awesome. Yeah, this is kind of rough. I mean, I could at some point, maybe if I burn them, I could just start spamming Baby Doll Eyes. Nice, okay, so we kind of play it really well here. Another thing about this Vaporeon set is, typically when people see Vaporeon in singles, I think they typically think, oh, you know what? No, never mind. But anyways, I'll go back to what I was going to say, but typically they think that it's going to be like a Baton Passer with like, what are the moves that it usually has? It has like Acid Armor and stuff like that, and Calm Mind, and then they Baton Pass those boosts to something else. But, you know, I mean, we are trying to set up, but luckily we just kind of made the right call and just went for Scald. They do go Bulk up here. But what I was going to say, like, I kind of went back and forth there. I was like, oh, you know what? Typically, Annihilate has Covert Cloak, but then I immediately remembered that it has leftovers, so, you know, we're kind of fine on that regard. Unfortunately, we do not get the burn again, though, so yeah, this is rough. I think I have to just keep clicking Scald, though. They're gonna want to Drain Punch, because if they don't Drain Punch, they're likely to just die to the Scald, so we're in an okay spot as long as we ever get that burn. That's really what we're aiming for here. That Drain Punch does a good amount, but not too much. And they're gonna recover a decent chunk. Luckily, again, this forces them to be Drain Punching over Rage Fisting, though. We still do not get the burn. Remember, that's a 30% chance. So if we do not burn this time right here, then something is horribly wrong with our Vaporeon, and we're going to release it because it is defective. The taunt gets shaken off. I'm still going to Scald here. They might taunt me again. That would actually be, well, I don't think they should taunt me because that would be really bad for them. Now they Rage Fist, which honestly might kill me. Wow, that does so much damage. Okay. So now we're going to get to go into Moth. And in all honesty, I'm tempted to go Fiery Dance here, but if we do not knock them out with Fiery Dance, we pretty much lose. I wonder if they're Terra Fire, which is somewhat common. They're either Terra Fire or Terra Water. I think those are two common Terra types on Annihilate. So, let's see, who are their last Pokemon? We have our Terra still, which is nice. Oh yeah, having Terra is pretty good against the remaining Pokemon they have. I think I'm gonna Discharge. It seems kind of weird, but if they go Terra Fire or Terra Water, okay, is that gonna kill? Okay. So I should have gone Fiery Dance. If I had gone Fiery Dance, we have a chance of boosting our special attack, which is great, but I think that was the safer play. And at the same time, maybe I should have figured that they would not Terrastalize because they were so low on health, like they've probably figured it wouldn't be worth it. But now they go into this guy who we do resist, or whose moves we do resist. The thing is, if they Terrastalize, they're no longer weak to Sludge Wave, which is really awkward, but I think I just go for it anyway. I'm pretty sure they're going to Terrastalize. We resist Cudgel, but they're just such a strong Pokemon that we're gonna take a lot of damage from it. So we just kind of have to hope for the best. I could have gone Discharge, figuring that they were gonna Terrasilize and maybe hoping to get a paralysis, but at the same time we're guaranteed faster than them, so that also just doesn't really do anything. I think Sludge Wave is just the safest bet, and if we can if we do more than half, that's perfect. I think we win at that point, unless they have like Knockoff or Stomping Tantrum. Still a chance we lose this in one turn. Oh, okay, so what move do they go for? If they just went for Cudgel and we live, then GG. Can we live though? Because this thing is really, really strong. It's kind of like a mini Zacian. Oh yes, perfect. All right, so we get a win game one. No, actually it's not over yet. They could have quick attack. Do they have quick attack? If not, it's GG. Yay, perfect. I love you, Iron Moth. I want to give my Iron Moth a hug. That'd be the weirdest hug ever. Which Pokemon, let me know in the comments which Pokemon you think would be the weirdest Pokemon to hug in your opinion. I think there's a lot of contenders. But anyways, yeah, that ends up working out really well for us. But like I said, Ogerpon is just terrifying. It's such a huge threat. And the funny thing is with this Iron Moth set, I used to run just enough speed to get the booster energy speed boost, and then max HP, and then the rest of the EVs in special defense just to help against like Flutter Mane and Iron Bundle. And I ran Terra Grass. But with this set, I figured like, oh, I like that set, but I want a little bit of an easier chance against taking on like Chien Pao. So that's why I went Terra Fairy, and then that's why I put it in defense. And if I had not put it in defense, Iron Bundle would have absolutely died to that Ivy Cudgel because, or I'm sorry, Iron Moth would have died to the Ivy Cudgel. Again, even though I resist it, Ogerpon is just a monster. All right, let's go to game 2. That was a fun one. Battle number 2. My opponent has Grass Ogerpon, which you rarely do see. I wonder if that means that they can have an item? Maybe not. I don't know. I need to learn more about these Ogerpons. That does mean that my Vaporeon might be a little less of a threat, because if I go Terra Fire, again, they might have like Stomping Tantrum or Knockoff, so we should just be aware of that. I still kind of want to bring... I think Fire Vaporeon's actually pretty solid here, though. The funny thing is, if it's... that makes us like worse against Empoleon and Landorus. I kind of want to lead with it, though, because well, that's probably dumb. Well... The problem is Empoleon. Empoleon's really annoying, because they typically go like Yawn. Stealth Rock, Yawn. Is there ever a world where we want to bring Gholdengo into that? Yeah, we actually just really don't have a great answer to Empoleon. So I'm actually going to lead with Baxcalibur, which is pretty weird, I'd say, but I think it helps. Then we have Vaporeon, and then what do we not like? I think I like maybe Moth in the back. I'm going to bring Moth. We're gonna see. Kind of a weird setup, but we get to show off Baxcalibur. Maybe Scale Shot will do some damage. I know it's weird to lead with Baxcalibur, but if they lead with Empoleon, I think I'm gonna like that, just because we can get off as much damage as possible against it turn 1. Empoleon's actually like a surprisingly good Pokemon. I think it's kind of up there in the rankings right now. I think it's in the top 20 most used Pokemon, just because its typing is really good. Yeah, they do lead Empoleon. And it has Stealth Rock and Yawn, kind of like Hippowdon, so it has a really good typing and pretty solid offensive stats as well. So yeah, anyway, we're just going to click Earthquake here. If they Terra, I kind of don't care. Okay, so they're just going to stay in. We don't kill, because they are pretty bulky. They do Yawn, so that's a little rough. Of course, we don't want to just stay in and fall asleep, so I think we're okay switching here, because if they just get up rocks, I don't think we want to. We don't want to lose our booster energy though. Okay, yeah, this is pretty rough. Who do they have? This is probably bad, but I'm honestly staying in and knocking them out. Like, we're gonna be put to sleep. They're gonna go into something that can likely set up, which is really rough, but we're just gonna have to deal with that, I guess. Like, I kind of just feel like whoever they go into, we kind of have a Pokemon that we can switch into in response. They do go Ogerpon, which honestly is a Pokemon we don't have an answer to. So I'm just gonna have to stay in here and click Icicle Spear and hope we wake up. They might start setting up a bunch of swords dances, but I mean, we shouldn't let that happen, but okay, they go play rough and they don't knock me out, which is kind of funny. Do we wake up? Imagine we wake up. Okay. So now I could go Moth. Is that weird, or are they just gonna play rough again? I'm gonna stay in. Now that they know I'm staying in, I think they're gonna be dissuaded from, yeah. Oh, they miss. I was gonna say, I think they're gonna be dissuaded from clicking Swords Dance just in case we wake up. And they do miss, so now it's kind of the same deal here. Like, if they knock out my Baxcalibur, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, we traded 1-for-1 the Baxcalibur for the what am I trying to say? Iron, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here because I'm trying to think ahead on the battle. We traded Baxcalibur for oh man, I have it on the tip of my tongue. Empoleon, man, I'm sorry. Sorry, I forgot. All right. So this puts us in a pretty good spot because even if they Terrasilize, they're going to be Terra Grass, so like they don't have a good defensive Terra here. So I kind of think we're okay to click Fiery Dance. They could have Stomping Tantrum. Do we Terrasilize here? Like, no, I'm not going to Terrasilize. Whatever. I think Sludge Wave is a great move to go for. Now that Empoleon's gone, they don't have a Pokemon that's immune to it. They do have Landorus in the back though. So if they go into Landorus here, they don't. Okay, this is great for us. Do they have Booster? They don't. So we might just be faster than them. They do take that really well though. But I'm not afraid of a Flutter Mane. I kind of feel like if they, I mean, the worst case scenario is if they have Thunder Wave. Aside from that, I'm not really afraid of this. Yeah, so we don't knock them out, sadly. Oh, they have Power Gem. I wonder if our HP is gonna, it saves. Oh man, this is great. This is great, all right. So now I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot because even if Moth dies, we could just go into Vaporeon and set up the Terra Fire. And at that point, I mean, they could have Stomping Tantrum, so, you know, it's not over yet. I'm just gonna click Sludge Whip because it does the most damage. Like at this point, I don't even really care that much about boosting my special attack. But this shows how awesome bulky Iron Moth is. Like, yeah, we're missing out on the power of special attack investment because Iron Moth has a massive special attack stat. But I kind of think I like the set a lot better because we get the speed boost, which means we're faster than most everything in the meta. And we have a really good typing. So I think Iron Moth, I mean, I've said this before, for as long as I've been using Iron Moth, I've said that like it's a really like secretly good Pokemon. And I stand by that. So they knock me out here probably, even though I 4 times resist. That is just the power of Ogerpon. I like that Grass Mask. I like the way it looks. That's really cool. You really don't see Grass Ogerpon. I think the most common one is easily the Fire one because it just has so much going. It's just so good. Like when they Terrasilize with the Fire one, they get an attack boost, so it even further boosts their attack stat. And Fire is just a good offensive type. Did they get any boost? They got a speed boost. Oh, that's kind of important. But I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Fire here and just finish them off with the Terra Blast. So we get to finish them off with our Vaporeon, which is awesome because it's the Pokemon that we're kind of featuring in this video. And like I said, I do think Vaporeon's in a solid spot in the meta right now. Like and there's a lot of different ways to build it. And it's a fan favorite. Who doesn't love them a good evolution, right? So yeah, they go Cudgel, which we resist, right? Right? Am I missing something here? We are max HP, max defense, and we resist it. Ooh, that still does a lot of damage. But luckily for me, they are low enough that this will knock them out. And even if they had, even if they, you know, even if they had like full health or something, we could still probably knock them out because we know that we would live another Ivy Cudgel, so good stuff. So my battery's low, and also I'm just gonna end it here. This is gonna be the last battle of the video, sadly, because it's just I've been getting a lot of communication errors, which rarely happens, and you know that this last battle took like several minutes to find a battle partner, which is rare also. Usually I'm able to find one pretty quickly, but yeah, but we're gonna end it there. I mean, we're gonna end on a high note because we did win both of those battles, so that's awesome. And Vaporeon was, I would say, featured decently prominently in the battle. So that is my team for today. If you want to try it out, we have the team code at the beginning of the video, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I think this is a pretty solid team. There are some changes I would make, like Gholdengo, I'm not 100% certain about. Baxcalibur is great, but also I kind of feel like if you're going to run Baxcalibur, you do want kind of more support for it. And this team, I kind of just threw it on because it seemed like it clicked well. But this team, the main focal point is Vaporeon. Iron Bundle is always a great Pokemon to use if you want to. Iron Moth, same thing. I think it's a really good Pokemon in the meta right now. And again, I'll have all those EV spreads in the description in the PokePaste, as well as, again, the team code if you want to try this out yourself. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the team. Who's your favorite evolution? I know that's a pretty easy question, but we all have our favorites. My favorite has always been Umbreon because I'm emo, but I like Vaporeon too. You know, it is one of my favorites as well. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.